Stitching Stuff. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Kim.
And we're glad you're joining us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. Today is officially the end of July. Is it the 31st or the 30th? 31st. It is really the end of July. Can't believe it. Into August.
Tomorrow would have been my parents' 62nd anniversary.
Wow.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. If you're new joining us, we are a mother and daughter team in Washington, but we're on opposite sides of the mountains. So we record over Zoom unless we can be in person together. And my kids will join us for a little bit of it soon.
Because we are a multi-generational crafty family.
We are. And today we have all three girls sharing stuff.
Oh.
It's been very, very, very hot here in the Yakima area in central Washington. It's not as hot as they're saying it's supposed to be every day, but it's definitely over 100. So right now it is 103 where we live, but it was predicting 111, but it's 2 in the afternoon. So it's probably not going to get a lot warmer than it is. But I kind of
that. Do you know when we've been hitting our high temps? Our highest temps of the day at 5 and 6 o'clock at night.
That's here too. Yeah. I don't know.
Which I thought was kind of weird this early in the summer. Like I could understand that like later in August, but
yeah,
it's still July. And I was driving to my friend's house yesterday at 5:30 and it was 97 degrees out here.
Yeah.
If SeaTac hits 90 degrees or more today, we'll break the record for, I think there'll be 6 consecutive days over 90.
Weird.
Which it's wearing on people. I mean, and a lot of people don't even have the window units that I have. They're just trying to keep fans.
I know. I don't know how.
I don't either.
You do it. We haven't had any wildfires, although it is a little smoky today, and I'm not sure if it's coming up from the ones that are in Northern California or down from the ones that are in Alaska, but I think it's a little smoky, which makes me sad. I don't think it's clouds.
I don't. Are there big ones in Alaska again? We haven't had any smoke yet.
I don't know if they're big ones, but when I looked up wildfire, like a wildfire map, like all of Alaska was on fire. So I don't know if those are just a bunch of little ones, but I was like, whoa, I didn't realize Alaska had fires going right now.
We usually get smoke from Alaska, even over here.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that same map.
Maybe they're just small ones.
Hang on.
Yeah, I'm knocking on wood. I haven't missed that. But again, we got most of our wildfire smoke in the last few years in August.
Let's see here. Well, this is what, so when I looked at, this is fire.airnow.gov. So it's fire and air quality. The green is the contiguous United States and the fires are, this is Alaska.
What the what? I haven't even heard anything about that.
So I'm thinking there's fires in Alaska.
Something's going on in Alaska.
Unless they're like old or, well, no, because this last report was July 29th. Previous report.
Show the picture of the rest of the United States.
Okay.
Because I haven't been hearing about a lot of wildfires.
Well, there's a bunch, it looks like in the Southwest.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of those. But look at California's not even really, there's a couple, it looks like there's some, but.
There's a big one, you know, that Five Marys ranchers that I follow, right near them, there's a big fire, really big, I think.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes all of California.
Like Fort Jones and Wairika, so Northern California. If you're watching and you're from that area or you know people, stay safe. Yeah, that one right there in the middle is, I think, that big fire. There's a few. They had lightning storms, he said.
They had what?
Lightning storms, not starting.
Yeah.
But we haven't.
I haven't heard a whole lot about Oregon. I haven't heard much about
Oregon. Hasn't had any either yet, I don't think.
And
I mean,
really
we did have a really. Yeah, Oregon still looks clear on this map as well. Oh, there's one over in Walla Walla area. So that's Washington, like southeast.
Way south, yeah.
And it's 1,100 acres. I don't know, is that big?
That's big enough. That's the only one in Washington?
It's the only one I see on Washington on that map.
Wow. I know that
we are all kind of in the smoke region, and I'm not sure where they're coming from.
I know we're supposed to cool down this next week, and there's chance of thunderstorms and lightning in the mountains here next week. But who knows?
We are supposed to cool down a little bit to the 90s.
Yeah, well, you can have it.
I was hoping they would have the 80s. It was going to say the 80s, and maybe it still will. But anyways, so we're warm and roasting, but it's manageable. We have air conditioning units in the windows and stuff. So our house is actually staying pretty cool. The girls are sleeping upstairs because the basement is actually warm, which usually stays really cool. But when it's this hot,
yeah, nothing.
It doesn't. Nothing stays cool. So they've been sleeping in the guest room where there's a window unit, and they're all piled in like little sardines. There's 2 on the guest bed, and we popped a cot up in the between the wall and the bed. They just trade off who sleeps where. And
you do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So if it cools off next week, they can go back to their bed, or we'll put the top outside.
Yeah. I've just got fans going, and that's why my hair's blowing around.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm chilly right now because the fan's blowing right on me.
It's a nice problem to have. I have a fully finished that I haven't showed you yet.
I heard. I don't have any. I was supposed to have 3 fully finishes today, and I didn't get.
I showed what I can't remember what it's called now. August poppies.
Oh yeah.
From Cottage Garden.
Samplings. Samplings. Oh.
I kind of talked about how I wanted to finish it. Remember, I showed the
Yes.
fabric, and here it is with the pom pom trim.
The pom pom finish.
There it is. I wish I had stepped it a little further. I don't know why I didn't. It looked good, and then I sewed it up, and I thought, oh, I wish I'd had a little more in, but I didn't really.
It'll be okay.
It's fine. It's just for me. It's fine.
I looked up because
I
was
could
gonna,
cut a little hole and patch it up in the back, but
Yeah.
I think it's fine. It's just for my
was one of the ones I was going to do yesterday is going to have chenille trim on it. And I thought, how do you sew this chenille on? So Lindy Stitches has a video. Super easy. You basically just bring your needle up, wrap it around the chenille and back down because it just the thread just embeds inside the chenille.
That's
I
what
thought you had to try to find an edge.
That's what I did with this too, really. I used the navy blue. You can see the thread.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, same thing. I don't know. Maybe there's a better way to do pom pom, but that's how I did it. Because
well, that pom pom doesn't have a tape that you could have sewn. You only have the string. Yeah.
Exactly. So I just thought, well, I'll just wrap it around the cord, and I did small enough stitches with 1 thread. I think it's subtle enough that you'd have to look for it. I used Vanna Pfeiffer's. Well, did I really use Hutra coil? Kind of. I mean, I've done these pillows before, but I had it on.
Lindy Stitches does have a pom-pom video, I think, on too.
Yeah, she does. And this one was not a pom-pom video. This was just a pillow tutorial. But one thing that I didn't used to do that I probably will do from now on for better corners, according to her, if you when you put your 2 sides right side facing and you sew them, rather than sew and then stop and pivot it, she sews all the way off the end.
And then all the way
off the end and all the way out, which I've never done before. I've usually just sunk my needle in, rotated it, and gone. But for sharper corners, she said, if you go all the way off the end, and then you can just trim them really close, and then turn them. And I think that is definitely true. I'm really happy with the way my corners pushed out. So that was nice. I love it. I really, the only complaint I have, and I don't know how well it will show up, kind of, is when I did wash it, I had to wash it because it was a little dirty. I knew the red bled a little bit, but the green also bled.
Oh, I can see it today. I didn't see it the other day.
I didn't notice that at first either. Girls want to see. Do you see how the green dye of that fabric?
Oh, yeah. I totally.
I'm not, like I said, it's pretty subtle and it's just for me. So just my own little.
It's not going to matter.
Happy pillow for summertime.
Makes the grass look a little greener.
Yeah. It's a blue fabric that just kind of blends in.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
Good time. You'll have a chance to put it up for the summer.
Yes, I did. It's on my entertainment center. Millie can go first. So we have, I think, all 3 girls. Does Liddy know that we're recording? Rosie, can you tell Liddy, since you're waiting, to get her stuff if she wants to share? I don't know if she stitched enough to share or not.
She took all my shower.
Oh, she had to take some stuff out. She made a mistake.
Okay.
What did you work on?
On the boots and flowers.
floral, but I have to look at it every time.
Cute.
Yeah. Got a lot done. So. Okay. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
wow. You are getting a lot done.
Over here. Red.
Wow, it's so
For
cute.
the thread that's in the oven. We're recording. That is really cute. What did you say last night? You really love this, right?
What?
I really like this one. It makes me happy to look at.
You really like it? Oh, I'm glad you like it.
It's really cute.
The flowers on it remind me of a couple of the flower motifs from one of Alicia Paulson's patterns.
She has that
Spray,
spring
little
one.
flower spray.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. Good job.
Nice. Okay, Rosie, you want to go next?
I love Rosie.
Excuse me.
Me too. Don't make me yawn.
Middle of the afternoon, it's nap time. We don't have any. Are you gonna get it out or?
Yeah.
She didn't have any warning.
You had plenty of time, kiddo.
Okay, Rosie is 9 and she's working on Imagine.
Imagine
Pixie Fairy. Super cute.
Where's your fabric? Is it in here? Okay, let's pull that out. Whose hoop is that? Did you go downstairs and find one? Okay. Is that helping you not have to hold it as close to your face? Oh, she said she was holding it really close to her face. And I don't know if that was for sight or because she was not having a hoop.
Oh,
We'll see if it helps.
starting on her little dress.
Doing some purple on her dress.
Okay, slow but sure.
A little bit at a time. The early bird catches the worm. I don't know. What other things can we say? Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow, yeah, slow and steady.
Slow and steady. I would sit here.
Good job.
Coming up with maxims. All right.
Okay.
Somebody else hasn't been on for a while.
The early bird gets the worm.
There
Okay.
we go.
This is Liddy.
Oh yeah.
You're
I'm
new.
ready.
This is Liddy, and she's 12, going on 40, going on 20.
Little shoulder sleeve cutout shirt. How cute is that?
I wish I had that shirt.
Well, the good news is you will have that shirt.
I'm doing
Yeah.
Lost House by Little Stitch Girl.
Oh,
If
bought
you
it over
see
here
this little
when they were
stitching
visiting.
this morning, and I was like, I also use a hoop
Some windows.
Uh-huh.
And
that same color
the frame for the door.
for this, and I won't show it for long, but
You were working
I've been working on a house, so I saw her from across the room with a purple hoop and
I was
light blue
undoing
fabric.
stuff because I stitched it wrong.
And I was like, what are you doing with my cross? What are you doing with my cross? What are you doing? And she wasn't answering because I was like
this.
because it looks just like mine from across the room. I thought she just picked up my shorts at Hawker and Hollow and was
Thought she'd put a few stitches
playing
in
with
there.
the stitches.
So hold it up again. Hold it up one more
Okay,
time.
now hold it up again. Now that I'm done telling the story.
Oh, look at you.
I
going back out.
forgot to stitch here, so I still need to do the yellow there. But I did this window and this window today, and the white frame on the door, and right
Look
there.
at how
white.
your house all lined up too. My houses sometimes get a little wonky looking.
All nice and symmetrical.
I know. Good job. Good job counting.
We had to take a little bit out.
Yeah.
But did you put that back in?
Yes.
Stuff we had to take out. The thread broke, so I had to I unstitched a few for her, and then ended the
Yeah.
thread, and then she had to put it back in.
Gotcha.
Happens sometimes.
Yep. I had to do that a couple times this past week, actually. Yep.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Love you, girls. Good job. Where you going?
Recenter myself here. Whoop. Well, this week we have a bunch. Oh,
It's really, really hot here.
it's so cold. We had said we wanted people to send in photos of their finishes, which I still don't have one of mine. Well, I have one of what Emily sent me, so I'll put that in there. Shoot me a
Show you
picture and
mine.
send it. And I'll put it in
Mine's
the
from Tina. I showed it last week, but Tina Stitches.
This was from our Smalls exchange that we hosted, and it was so fun. And so in lieu of a featured friend, we're going to do a bunch of featured friends, and I'm going to put all the ones that people have sent me here. And if you have more to send, like if you didn't send me one this week, send them to me, and we'll put them in as we get them, because it was really fun to see what everybody stitched. So I'll put those in.
I really appreciated people sending those in, because we did get some comments about people wanting to see what everybody got. So
yeah,
and people were really positive. So we'll probably do it again sometime.
Yeah, pretty fun.
Out, you can get a chance to join in next time.
Really fun. Ooh, we need to plan a stitch, just a meetup. But maybe we'll plan that and announce it next week.
Yeah, we thought about doing one in August, and here we are.
Here it's almost August, so next week, beginning of August, we'll say when we're gonna do that.
Oh, how is it August?
I don't know. Well, thanks for sending those pictures in, and thanks again for all of you who participated with us in that.
You know, people were thanking us for doing that, and it's like I want to thank everybody for participating, because that wouldn't be anything if nobody wanted to do it along with us. So I'm just pleased that people wanted to do it, which we could probably just segue now and say it again, that we're hoping to do a shepherd's bush stitch along, start along. I think we'll just call it a start along.
Yeah.
In September with Stay-Income Stitching. And I'm going to message you, Fawn, if you're watching. I'm messaging you tonight. So, put Sarah on that. But if you've been thinking about starting this shepherd's bush, or you've got some that you're already working on that you want to pull out, then that's the start along for you.
And we may have a prize or something. We haven't.
I know. I cooked up an ididea.
I cooked up an idea. So you may want to participate. There may be something in it for you.
Because we're all about bribing people to go along with us.
Oh goodness.
But anyway, so that would be September. So you got a month to gather your wits about you. And figure out what you want to do. I have a whole folder, an accordion folder of all my shepherd's bush current stuff.
Right.
That I thought, I'm gonna have to look through that, pick something out. Plus I have got new starts.
Yeah.
Okay, now Dad's home.
Oh, good.
Oh, honey. Sorry. You can shut the door now.
Oh,
is that for me?
Neat.
Oh, it's dancing in.
Oh, nice. Like your shirt. What's all over it?
Dancing Santa.
It's a dancing Santa. It's all over his shirt paint.
Okay.
Here's my work shirt. I mowed the lawn today.
He went to the store looking like that.
I know, it's my favorite thing to do.
So proud.
That looks good. What did he bring you? Is that a passion iced tea?
It is a dragon. It's the mango dragon lemonade.
Yum.
Yeah.
Jesse said he had some pineapple something or other there the other day that it was really good.
There's a couple.
Try that.
There's a couple of pineapple ones. There's one that's kind of creamy with coconut milk in it, and one that's kind of a lemonade-y kind of pineapple.
I think that's the one he had. I think it was a lemony. I don't know.
This is got it's got the lemonade in it. It's sweet with a little bit of tart to it. I like it. It's got equal parts sweet and sour.
That sounds really good.
Remember that I said I like that. I wonder what he got himself.
Frappuccino.
He likes that. They call it the pink drink. He likes that.
That really vibrant pink one that I see people walking out of the.
I think that's it.
Where was I the other day? I think I was at Starbucks a few
Mhm.
weeks ago, and everybody who came out of Starbucks was carrying one of those neon pink drinks, and I was like, "What are you? What is even these like macho men?"
It's got strawberry. I think that one might have coconut milk in it. I can't remember. That one's been around for a while. This is definitely a seasonal one. I've never seen the
The
dragon.
other one's not.
Yeah, I think the other one they have all the time. So anyway, well, that was nice of him.
Starbucks Land of Seattle.
Mhm.
Well, what did
One
you
on
work on this week?
What did I work on? Well, I worked on some surprise. I had a new start.
Oh,
I felt it was appropriate. I've been talking about starting my summer Quakers all summer. First, I was going to start it on the first day of summer, but I didn't. It's this pattern, in case you're not aware of it. It's gorgeous. Uses Valdanis. And so I thought, this week, I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday, it was one of the first really hot days we had. It was like 95 degrees. I thought this is a perfect day to start summer Quakers because it definitely feels like summer. Which to me is really, I was thinking yesterday, we didn't get summer here until after 4th of July. So it's only been a month, but I feel like we've had summer for 3 months. So that's my big start.
You had such a cold, wet spring.
Oh, it was nuts.
You got some little things done on there.
Little things, little flowers. That's all I got. But look at these threads. Oh my word. These are just
Yes,
gorgeous.
I love those.
And I really, I couldn't, when I went to buy fabric a while ago, I couldn't find truffle anywhere. It calls for Picture This Plus truffle. So I ended up getting a Picture This Plus Helix blue. It's kind of bad lighting, but it's kind of a blue model. And I really liked it. And I think it would be really pretty on this, but I bought a 32 count. And her patterns call for 28. And with a 28 count, you use all 3 threads of the Valdani. But at 28 count, you have to separate. And I'm doing that for Sunflower Fairy and for my Winter Quaker. And then you always have that one thread when you cut your lengths. And so I thought, I'm going to do this as called for. And so Aunt Nancy helped me find this fabric at Stitchville that I'm using. And it isn't quite as brown as truffle is. It's more brown. This is called Quartz by Picture This Plus. But I like it. I think the colors are going to be good. There was one thread I was a little worried about, but I think it's going to be okay.
I think it will. It's really
yeah.
pretty.
So I got that started, and so I've got Winter Quaker going. I've got this Quaker going now, and I have all the stuff from you from Christmas 2 years ago, I think, for Autumn Quaker. I had bought the fabric after. So that one's going to get started this year because I don't have enough going on.
Well,
Worked on that. This I worked on a little bit more. I had started it last week. It's the Told in the Garden. It's the little 2001 freebie angel. So I basically filled in a little more of her face and got her dress going.
That dress, you didn't have any of that done.
I did all of this.
Wow.
And all of this area and those little motifs, it's going to be Krennic.
I was going to say, is that Krennic? I had a feeling it was.
Red. It's red. So it's a little red and green. And I need to get a threadle. I need to get a needle threader because I cannot get Krennic into a regular regular needle for cross stitch. I did buy a size 22. They're a little bit bigger to do that. But when I was working on the gold on her, you can't really see it much, but there's some little goldy flecks. I got threads blown around. There's some little gold flecks in her hair. They're not going to show up.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I can kind of see which ones are gold.
Yeah, I ended up having to get like a big Herkin sewing needle out of my mom's pin cushion. You know that pin cushion that you saw? it's big, and it, it makes the hole really big on your fabric. So I really don't want to do that.
Not really the best.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to put her away. I'm going to keep working on her because she is kind of fun to work on.
She's cute.
Yeah, I do like her. And then that was a couple nights, love. And then, I met both my whip go goals. In fact, that did not give me a whip go, but next month I get 2 whip goes.
Me too.
Great call, yeah. So what did this was called? What numbers were last month?
Last month
11 and 8, 11 and 18.
Not 18 and
8 and 11.
11. Okay,
Yeah, so I didn't get any. Yeah, I didn't get any whip goes, but I will get a whip go next month if I do my go. So I worked on Toity, and I only have a little bit more. I have this to go and a little motif here, and then that'll be the first page.
Yeah.
I did all of this. Was ridiculously long time stitching. I don't know why, because it's 1/1. But I did that motif.
I
filled in.
I know we always say that, but it is
What?
so dainty. I said I love how dainty it is, and I know we always say that, but
Yeah, I mean, look at my hand.
it just looks so delicate.
And filled in the rest of that motif, and I started this. I forget what this is. It's part of a flower that droops down. There's yellow here.
I see.
So I'll show you where I'm at. So basically what I've stitched is,
Oh yeah.
I'm stitching that right there. So I have this go, I've got a little bit of this, that, and then this.
That's the first page.
Yeah, would be the first page. So yeah, and again, it's tedious because it's one thread.
Yeah.
One thread stitching is just, I don't know why it seems to take longer to stitch with one thread, but
I don't know.
sometimes
but you just don't see as much distance maybe.
sometimes when you pull a one thread, it kind of pulls across it disappears.
Mhm.
Ever had that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull it too tight or whatever.
Yeah, and so that was happening. There's probably some technique I should know how to do, then it would stop it from doing that. But if you know, let me know. But I do like it. It is cute. It is cute.
Becky, are you right there? Honey? Jesse? You might be taking a nap. The bread is in the oven and it just beeped.
You need to get up and get it?
Yeah. I'm just gonna go pull it out really quick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. So yeah, if you have any tips for stitching 1/1 on a Lugana, I think that was a Lugana, let me know, because that's the one thing that slows me down on that piece. If I pull my thread a little bit too far, then it kind of disappears into the warp and weave. I don't even know what the terms are. Warp and weave. But I do like it on this small fabric. I think it'll be really cute framed up. And realizing that I'm getting kind of close to a page finish, although that border that I have left isn't really going to be quick, but it's kind of motivating.
I'm sorry. And now another timer is going off. Look at what I made.
Yum. What is it?
Sourdough.
Oh.
See what else I just made?
What else? Angel food? What else did you just make? This is Cooking with Kim and Sarah.
Bro.
We switched our title.
Well, it's starting to break because it accidentally popped out.
Oh yeah, angel food. That's crazy how it baked up.
Well, it's breaking. I accidentally pushed up the bottom of it. There we go.
What? Can't hear you.
Sorry. Well, I accidentally pushed the bottom up. You know how it's one of those cans? So it was partially out.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I had a bunch. I made ice cream to use up milk. We have milk coming out our ears right now. So I made a batch of custard, but then I have a ton of egg whites. So I've been wanting to make angel food with those egg whites that were sitting in the fridge. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have egg whites and custard for ice cream in the fridge.
There you go. This was a focal piece for Magazine Monthly for the month, and it was my Stitch for Sweet Freedom.
Yes.
And this was ridiculous how long it took me to get my timing, because I again shared last week that I'm on my 2 weeks ago, my third fabric choice. But I did stick with it. And so I basically did all of that, and I filled in this star. I think the star just now needs the white all filled in.
Yes.
That
Right.
whole medallion. And I've done a little bit. I don't think it's going to show up much.
I don't know what she just said to me. You have any white yet on it or no?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think I can kind of see where it is.
It's not going to show
Up at the top.
Yeah. Focus. Anyway, you get the drift. So finally feel like I've got a legitimate start on this. And I did for my haul, just share now, I stocked up on the fancy flosses because she had the navy in and she had the uniform blue, which has been hard in the past for me to find, and the cherry cobbler.
I like that cherry cobbler.
If you need me to get you some next time I go, I will.
I might have you do
And I
that.
also had gotten some more of the sky, because that's the one that Candy felt like it wasn't, she needed more.
Uh-huh.
She stitched hers, Candy. So that got worked on. I met my goal on that. What else? Oh, work done. I pulled this out. This has not made an appearance for a while. This is a pattern by Emily Call from Salt and Pepper Stitching. Yeah, really, it's called Faith the Size of a Mustard Seed Can Do Amazing Things.
Oh yeah.
And I did work on this. So I did all of this, started the word faith, and then those motifs.
Are you using her called for colors or did you?
Yes, I am. Yeah. And this is the only fancy floss she substituted out.
Pretty.
It's hibiscus and it's really pretty. It does get a nice.
Yeah, it's really pretty fading in and out of the dark.
And I really like this on the real white fabric. I think the colors are real pretty.
Yeah, they pop
So
out.
thank you. I got a long ways to go. This is not like there's a lot of little floral motifs on this little puppy. So sweet pattern. You should go check out her Etsy shop and her Instagram. She's releasing her fall stuff right now, which is when I found her last year was fall. It was her little ghost that I stitched.
Yeah.
So she has 2 patterns. And then I worked it on yesterday and last night during the Zoom meetup call that I did. And then last night I brought out my Flower Fairy from Katerina
I think.
from Ukraine. This was my Ukrainian start. I stand for Ukraine. And this again is not a quick stitch for me. These kind of motifs take me a long time counting on linen. But I did this I finished this butterfly. I finished
I like
this.
it.
There's some green in here that you can't really see on this fabric, some light green. And then I did that whole thing last night.
Pretty. I bought that pattern, but I haven't started it.
It's really not showing up very well. It maybe shows up better back here.
I like that color fabric though.
Yeah, it is pretty. The pink's a little pink. Like I said, the only color that's not showing up is this one green. It's this green.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But up when you look at it in person, you can see it. So I'm not going to switch anything out. But there's a lot of stitching on here too that you just don't realize, because there's more motifs. Her legs are going to come down here, and then there's some motifs here. I don't think I still have like those 2 dragonflies to go, and this.
That big one. Yeah.
I wish I had used maybe like oh, what brand is it? It's called Snowball. I don't know if it's Weeks. It's a white, and it's a really, I just feel like maybe a fancy floss with white would have given me better coverage and it would have popped more.
Oh, maybe.
Because white is just hard, but I'm really happy with it. I think it'll be really pretty. And I have little special buttons to sew on it too. I have some butterflies and some flowers to put on it.
Cute.
So she's not going to get put away. And then the last thing I worked on was my 4 Seasons fall girl from Barbara Anna. I'm gonna make this bowl that kills me.
I hope it doesn't kill you.
So I did all of this.
Nice.
Her dress. There's houses here,
Oh,
houses and leaves and all kinds of doohies. But it's going faster. I feel like the designs in her dress aren't as like these designs. There was a lot going on in there.
mm-hmm.
These don't feel. They're just little houses and some trees. They don't feel quite as. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Like summer, man. We had a lighthouse, we had the boat, we had waves, we had fish.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot. So anyway,
Yeah.
this one I feel like it's going a little bit faster for me. So that's my stitchy week.
Cute.
I felt pretty accomplished. Of course, you know, it was too doggone hot to. I mean, I basically would go out and water the plants after dinner and then drag myself back in the house.
Yeah.
You know, when you go outside at 7 o'clock and it's still 89 degrees out. I'm not used to that, people.
Yeah.
Just not used to that.
Yeah. It's been like that here. And I don't think it's really cooled down enough to open up the windows at night here even.
No, you're better off not.
I worked on a little bit more, a few more things than I think I did the week before last week. So I worked on, and I did meet my WIPGO goal, which was my sunflower piece.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you in a minute. And my, what was the other one? Oh, short. I think this one.
Yeah.
So I've been working on block 3, and I'm on this little, I finished that bird and fountain this week. Oh, did I just lose the needle?
Oh wait, you just said you finished the house?
I did finish the house a while ago.
Oh wow, yay. Well, you were still filling in last time you showed it.
Oh, I thought I had done, yeah, maybe. I thought I finished the house and then I stitched this and then moved.
Oh, maybe. I forgot about that corner. Yeah, maybe you're right.
So I finished that fountain and did that little red bird, and there's another fountain and bird over here, and then of course all the waves and the mermaid and the, so it's not anywhere near done. And
Oh,
I just,
it's like you got the first half of that square done.
yeah, I think so. The bottom half has a lot of stitching, but the top half did too. So
Yeah. Well, if you do the mermaid and you do the 2 other little motifs, then you have to do just fill in.
yeah, right. That's kind of my plan.
Oh, you still have the grass and the black.
Yeah, I have this, the grass, the zigzag, and then all the little motifs and the zigzag and the fill in. And then,
Okay, well, whoever designed these, man, you're killing us with all these cute little details that look so cute and take so much time.
I know. I'm just like, well, I'll just plug away at it a little bit at a time.
Sure.
I will just keep seeing how it goes. So I dropped the needle. I heard it fall out when
Uh-oh.
and I'm gonna have to just get a magnet, I think, and hunt for it because this floor.
Oh, and you got the divots where your rocks are.
Yeah.
I mean, your little.
Yeah. Did I ever show a picture of what Jesse did? Yeah.
You did
So,
way back when.
a long time ago, Jesse, during COVID, one of his projects was to finish this floor in this breakfast nook area, is what we call it.
And it's not a rock
Log
floor. What
slices.
is it?
It's log slices.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, fill it. Okay, so I'll just have to use a magnet and try and find that needle because I heard it fall. I've been trying to work on my little fresh from the garden. Here.
I want that pattern when you're done. I'm doing that needle book.
Okay.
Claiming it before we pass it on.
Back to do the needle book. I can't remember. Somebody gave this to me, and somebody sent this to us, and I can't remember.
They did. It was in early on our class.
Yeah, quite a while ago. So
oh, look at yours down to the bottom.
I moved it around a little bit because originally, so I just did my own colors, and originally they had like this dark reddish orange color for the flowers up here, and I think that's the same color they use on the word radish. Possibly the same color they use on the radishes. I can't remember now.
Yeah, I remember you changed
mine,
the color.
I only used orange up here, but then when I got down and did the radishes, it just looked a little bit like jarring to just have orangey green and then really red because I used a brighter red. So I went back up and I just added a little red border around those flowers.
Sure.
So that it's not so.
Yeah, that does really pop now more than I feel like it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just have ST. I think I have a row of letters and then, I have the word spinach and then a row of letters.
But you know,
all along the side.
why would you do the radish and orange? Radishes aren't orange.
Well, no, maybe not. Here, I'll look at it. Let me see. So they called for the radish and the flower at the top to be in barn door, crescent color, or what is crescent colors?
This is more of a muted color. Classic color works.
Classic color works. So it's kind of like a muted orangey red,
Yeah.
but they must have selected the most red part for the radishes themselves because they're quite, where is it? There we go. They're quite red in the picture.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they are. You're right.
More
But
red.
that would be too muted on your fabric. You need that pop on that
I
fabric.
like it. Yeah, I like it with the bright red actually, but I didn't when it was just the radish was red. But
And the flowers look really like more cheerful.
yeah, yeah,
So
I like,
everything's kind of muted, but then you just have a little bit of pop.
yeah, I kind of like it. I'm trying to decide. So because I'm just doing my own colors. So at the top, I did a green for the zigzag border up there, and they have like a, I don't remember what color that is. It's probably blackbird
Black
for
crow.
their checkered zigzag at the bottom, but I'm trying to decide what I want to do for the bottom.
I love the peas hanging off that vine.
I know. Yeah, they're really cute.
Well, maybe I'll have to stitch the whole thing.
Really cute. Yeah. Oh, I only have one pea pod stitched off the vine, but yeah. So I have more. I have still a good amount, but it's coming.
Yeah.
I think this is a really cute one. I really like
Very
like
cute.
it. I think it's gonna be really cute. I think I'll finish this with a frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do my that flower fairy in a frame too. I'm gonna put her in a white frame.
The one from like you
Katarina.
showed a minute ago.
Yeah.
That'd be cute. Okay. I worked on Spring at Hawk Run Hollow, and I did do some on the border here, you'll see, but I realized that I kind of moved on to this because I wanted a break from this top. I was ready to just do some, but then I was ready for a break from the bricks. So I went back. Now's a good time to finish. So the whole top block is completely done now. And I did change it at one point. I changed it to the name of our
First square or the top border?
top, big
Oh,
top
okay.
is totally done.
You
No,
did the
the
whole first.
block one is not done.
Oh,
yeah,
look at
block
those
it.
colors though. That's beautiful.
I did get all the bricks done going this direction, so now it'll be down, but I decided to go back over. Hang on, let me fold this so I can hold it a little better. So big. I decided to go back and do some of this border and then maybe move in and do a little bit rather than just torture myself with all the bricks for a while. But what I didn't have done was all the flowers and bees on this side. And some of the nest wasn't totally done. So I went back and I finished adding in, and I really like the colors. I think the colors are so nice on this fabric. Super.
They are.
I think it's
Super nice.
really
I love it. I love how that border actually pops on that fabric.
the brick just so stands out. It just looks like really eye-catching. I mean, it does on the sample too, but I feel like even more on mine.
Yeah.
I really
love
like
it.
I think it's going to be really cute.
There's a lot of progress on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to just sort of steadily keep making progress on it. It is going to be really large though. Really, really large. I need a new project bag because this little Biscornu not quite big enough. So I need to do some rearranging of project bags this week.
Yes, you do.
I was originally just using that to hold
You know
my
what? That little bag you just showed would be perfect for the last piece you showed, the little farm fresh. That would fit in there just adorably.
That is probably true.
I need to find my little Biscornu bag. I think I must have put that in my closet.
With nothing in it? Did you put knitting in it or something? I found my pen that I was looking for before we started recording. I have
You've been running around. Oh,
underneath.
Just real quick. If you are a long time viewer, you know how I used to lose things in my couch. And we had the magic couch, and I don't have that couch anymore. I now have a recliner. Love it. Recliner couches, man, we have arrived. I could not find my planner.
Is that where it was?
I thought maybe it had gotten underneath. Like, so I was looking everywhere for it, and you had it yesterday when I was Zooming, and I thought, my house is not a mess. I mean, it's got to be. It's like 3 places it could be. I thought, did it fall underneath the couch and did it get kicked underneath there? And there's not much room. I mean, when the recliner goes down, but I had to lean over and recline the couch and then get down to look. It wasn't there. I actually found it in my box. I have a big box that my Haid is in, and I think I stuck it in there after we zoomed about the Haid. But I thought, oh, here I am digging through my couch again, looking for a cross stitch item.
It never ends.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yep. So anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's fine. I worked on so I don't, if you've watched this a long time, you know that in 2020 my grandma passed, mom's mom. And so this last Wednesday was the 2nd anniversary of her passing. So she's been on my mind a lot this week. And actually I sat down to talk to Jesse this morning about it a little bit. And I wasn't even really feeling particularly emotional when I sat down. I just like mentioned, like, because I didn't talk to him on the day of Wednesday about it. I don't know if it was just too busy. I don't really remember why. It just didn't come up. And I was thinking about it all day, but I just didn't really bring it up. Sat down this morning, right before we didn't go to church this morning because our church doesn't have air conditioning. And it basically is like an oven in there all week when it's this hot. So we thought, well, we'll just stream it from home today. But right before we started streaming it, I said my grandma's anniversary of her passing was last Wednesday. And he said, oh yeah. And I started to say something else. Like I thought I was feeling and processing one way. And then as I started talking, I just started bawling. Like just, I was just remembering a bunch of stuff and it just kind of hit me. But I am such a verbal processor that I don't even always know exactly how I feel till I start to talk about how I feel. And he of course listened. But I started this, I've mentioned this before, but I started this project at her dining room table when we were there caring for her when she was in hospice. It was kind of sudden. We don't have to tell the whole story, but it was very sudden that she went from not being on hospice to being on hospice. And then she was gone within about 2 weeks. So I had bought this kit right before coming over and ended up staying to help care for her. And I started this at her dining room table. So I thought which I now have. I have that table. You now have at that dining room table. And so I've been working hard on this. I love it. It is just, I've showed it multiple weeks in a row because I have been stitching on it a lot lately because I really love it. I just think it's so pretty. I picked up this kit at Hobby Lobby. So if you like it, you might be able to find it there or on Amazon or whatever.
I'm sure you can find it. 123 Stitch might even have it.
This is where I've been stitching. So I'm really quite close to being done with this one. I just have a little more fill in here. And then I think it's done on here. So then I'll move across.
And sunflowers were her favorites.
Oh yeah. So I kind of bought it. I loved it anyways, because I also love sunflowers, but I also bought it partly because we knew that she was getting sicker. So I bought it in honor of Grandma.
Okay. So talk about processing. Obviously I haven't processed. Grief is a weird thing. Grief is just a weird thing. And I processed that day. I actually, that morning I got up and I knew it was the day and Dad was getting ready for work and I was already sitting here working and I go, today's the anniversary of my mom's death. He goes, how are you doing? I said, I'm fine. And I just kind of let it go. And then I took a break from work and I was reading, there's a gal that I started following years ago. She's a beautiful blog writer. And she started a blog when her daughter, her young girl, had cancer, who she survived and she's fine. But I started following her blog then. And through the years, she just blogs about life. She's a pastor's wife and her kids have grown up and she's a grandma now. She's had a lot of medical. She's had mastectomy. She's had cancer. She was diagnosed with COPD and for years, but she does not fit any of the markers for it, right? But she's had all this lung issue. They finally, I think, figured out that it wasn't COPD all this time. It was silent reflux. Yeah.
Would have really been quite easy to treat compared to COPD.
So anyway, so long story short, she lost her mom this last June. And quite elderly. And I think they kind of knew it was coming, but it kind of all of a sudden it was like, it's time. And everybody went home to Wisconsin, I think, where they were. And she wrote a 3-part blog series on caring for her mom and remembering her mom. And I started reading it that day, and I was sitting here just bawling. And on top of that, her most recent blog post that caught my eye in the first place was they had to put their dog down this last week. And then I remembered having to put our dog down basically 2 months after mom died. Yeah, in the middle of 2020, you guys. So everything had this extra layer of trauma to it. But yeah, I thought, okay, clearly I'm not okay today. I mean, I was, but you know, there was just that, just reading those words just really brought it home. And when you were just now talking about buying that kit and coming over, what made me cry just now was remembering the relief I felt when you said you were going to stay.
Oh.
So anyway.
Well, I told Jesse this morning as I was processing out loud, I said, I am so thankful that I could stay. And it makes me really glad, even though it was really hard, that I was there for her and for you. And I was just thinking through, well, I told him, because I've been through some other kinds of trauma related to church stuff the last decade. And my memories around some of those difficult things are pretty fuzzy. Like they're just I just have a little difficult time remembering things. But I was telling him, I remember that time caring for my grandma, as hard as it was. And it's painful and sorrowful, crystal clear. There are things about it that are just distilled into these very specific memories.
Intense.
And he said, well, that's because what you were going through with your grandma wasn't really trauma. It was something you chose to take on because you had the ability to do that. And I said, you're right. And I'm super glad, because my relationship with my grandma was complicated. I think everybody, relationships are complicated, but that time that I always felt like maybe she didn't think I loved her enough or didn't want to be part of her life enough. And I felt I really hoped that even though she wasn't really super conscious a lot of that time, that the fact that I was there.
Yeah, I think she knew,
let her know that. And so that's one of the reasons. There were I came up with a million reasons while we were sitting there talking that I was super. But
do you know what was interesting too when I was reading the blog post about this other woman losing her mom? She talked about her mom having that one clear day where she talked to people and
very present.
And I thought, mom did the same thing. It wasn't a totally clear, I mean, she was still in and out, but she had moments that one day where she really woke up and she wanted to drink something and she wanted to eat something and she hadn't eaten for 3 days. It was all of a sudden she was just there and wanting things. And I remember thinking, there was kind of that last really. And then her mom just closed her eyes and didn't ever wake up again. And my mom basically was the same way. After that one day, I thought, oh, is she going to rally? And this is going to last a little longer than we were being told. And then she didn't.
It was goodbye in a way. Yeah. And I think that the Lord allows people to do that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the other thing. I didn't tell you this. So we had one of the last conversations, a lengthy conversation we had with my mom, and she was in and out of it, was over the little Lipton tea ceramic animals that you used to get, okay? And the memory
of those memories that's very crystal clear.
And I talked to her about those little animals because she had a little, I forgot. I knew she had some. I forgot they were in the kitchen on a little corner shelf.
They were on a little corner shelf all my growing up, and I used to love to stand there and look at them and touch them. And I don't know if she'd really let me play with them or not. I can't remember, but I just
don't remember. And my memory of those little animals was my grandma had them in her kitchen windowsill because she drank tea all the time. And every time we went to visit my grandparents, she would let my sister and I pick one out of the windowsill to bring home, which are the ones that I'm sure my mom has, a lot of those. So I had taken some of those home already. I just kind of took some home early on after mom died. But we had this conversation with her, and she was trying to tell us where they were. She said, kitchen, they're in the kitchen.
We were kind of talking about them or something.
Yeah. And so then
they're together.
Went and got some, and she's holding them in her hand, and I'm sure her vision was terrible because we had her so drugged up for pain, but she was looking at them and talking about them. And So when I was at my mom and dad's, at my dad's and Irene's now, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about that. She goes, "Oh, Kim, go take the rest of them. You can have them." And so I went and put them in a baggie, and I put them in my knitting bag that I had. I brought a knitting bag along, and I carried that knitting bag out to the car and into the house, and I take it with me because if my car breaks down, I can knit or something. I always have my knitting with me. And I kept thinking, and it's just a sock.
Why is it so heavy?
It's just a hat is what it is. I kept thinking, why is this bag? How many notions do I have in this bag? And I clumped it on the counter, and all of a sudden today, it dawned on me, those little teen animals are in the bottom of that bag. I've just been throwing it around. 2 of them broke.
It did.
I thought, and then I took them out, and I'm like, this bag is really more of a normal weight now. It was a baggie full of them. I mean, they were heavy.
I meant to ask you because you sent me a picture. So I thought, oh, I bet she took those. And then I don't know if I didn't have time to respond to the text you sent. I don't know.
Oh, I bet I did. Yeah. Yeah. Irene came in. And anyway, but I thought, here I am, these precious last memories of my mom's, one of her last conversations, and I'm just tossing them around the house in the bottom of my knitting bag.
Sorry, kids. You
Sorry,
won't get
Grandma.
anything from great grandma.
They're precious to me. Sorry, I broke them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, cleaning my mom's house out over the last 2 years has resulted in a lot of taking things and stashing them in bags so that my dad doesn't see it. Because even though he's not going to miss it,
He'll fuss about it being.
yeah, it's better now. I mean, most of everything's gone now. So that drama is gone. But
Yeah.
if you are a praying person or a sending good vibe person, please send me some good vibes, because we're trying to get my dad to go in and get evaluated for a mental I don't know, I use the word acuity, but basically they
Like
just
a cognitive health, I think.
because his memory really is his short-term memory is pretty impaired, becoming more impaired. And so he's thinking about it. He knows that he needs to do it. And, if there's some medication that could help him, because he's very healthy, he could have a very, if we could just keep his memory going, he could live pretty independently for a little while longer without having to worry about him. So anyway, this is another new stage I get to start with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so sorry, we digress. But you did that beautiful sunflower piece.
I started that.
And it is stunning.
That you know. I know. I really love it. It's going to be really special when it's done. And I will
It
film
is.
that piece and put it up too. That one will definitely be a
Yeah.
frame piece. I also worked a little bit on this one that you gave me, this little kit.
Yes. Little tiny angel.
I always say it, but I really like working on this.
Little
So
itty bitty.
doing
Because it's on
more on that
Ada. You like it because it's on Ada.
Huh?
You like it because it's on Ada.
I do. Ada is so easy to stitch on.
It is.
I mean, I don't know that I love the look of things stitched on other fabrics, but gosh, I love the process of stitching on Ada.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved doing that. Still have a lot to do on her. But, and then
Well, she kind of had a hiatus for a while. You just recently got her back.
kind of got buried at the bottom of my bag, at the bottom of my basket, and I kind of forgot about her for a while. So I'm working on her. And then last but not least, I've been putting beads on Cranberry and Pine for Jessie's stocking. And I probably could put all the other floss away. This is so pretty. Do you need to pause? Are you looking at
No, I was just going to tell you, I'm going to send you a picture I took of my craft closet
Okay.
that I'm going to send to Sarah to put on the end of our video, because I posted it after Carolyn Zook showed her beautiful new craft room in her home. I sent her a picture of my craft closet just to keep it real. So anyway, it makes, because I think of it because I've got so many projects buried in there. I mean, we talked about your project being
my
buried.
project
Bag. There's a lot of stuff in that closet.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh yes, I don't know. I'm so drawn to these stockings. I just want it.
Pretty with the red.
Oh, Sarah, it's so pretty. It kind of makes me want to cry. I don't know why. I do. Every time I see this piece, I kind of want to cry, and I don't know what
Interesting.
makes me tear up about it. I told you it makes me feel nostalgic, and that must be just something about it.
Something very, I don't know. It's
Look at all those beads on that middle tree.
This one?
The little upside down heart one.
Oh, the one
All around, that one all around the border. Oh,
isn't that pretty?
Wow.
It has beads all through this white spaces.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
This one has this one will have beads everywhere on the back stitching.
All the tips and stuff.
I love this one now. So before I just had the gold circles outlined, but now it has the beads in it.
Yes.
Super
Oh.
pretty. So
Yeah, I definitely need to stitch that one.
it's fun. I'll pass the stash to you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying really hard to get it done.
Yeah. And I forget what yours looks like.
Mine is very similar to what I'm going to do. It's similar, but the trees are all in rows rather than.
That's right.
Sort
That's
of
right. I knew it had trees
freestyle.
on it.
And I have everything to make a matching set. Basically, I might have to get a few DMCs. I don't know if the DMCs are the exact same. I think there's some differences. And then I'd have to buy the beads. I'm sure it's the same color beads.
I wonder if I could find somebody that would turn it into a stocking for me.
Tina. Maybe you could pay Tina to do a second. That's everything I worked on. Plus all my
Tina?
emotional baggage. Great.
Your emotional baggage. No, that
Plus
was
my,
good, though.
plus my counseling session that we just had here.
Thank you, people, for listening to us and our. Well, if you think about it too, okay, we started floss tubing in May, and my mom died in July, so we were really new floss tubers when that started, when that whole thing happened.
Yeah, that's
It was
true.
pretty-
It doesn't feel like we were that new, but we were.
And I mean, and my heart goes out because I know a lot of people that have lost parents, and I know we have some viewers that have had losses in the last couple of years. So
Yeah.
we know how you feel. Okay, I'm trying to find that picture so I don't forget to send it to you.
Well, I can shoot you a text.
Oh, no.
I made my magazine monthly plans
I did too. I'm on it.
It's all mine.
I'm on it.
from last month. Well, not my Christmas in July. That one just went away. But
I'll
all the other
back
ones,
out on that.
I bagged out. I just couldn't manage it.
That's okay.
I did 2 of them. I did 2 weekends worth of the 5. You know, that's all right.
It's okay.
But a couple of them, I think, are making an appearance on.
Oh, your stocking. I mean, that might not have been enough.
Yeah,
for
the
Christmas.
stocking, I
Yeah.
did meet that goal.
Okay.
I think I just really wanted to keep working on that stocking rather than work on other Christmas things. So really, I did do Christmas in July. It just wasn't the plan I had specifically made.
Okay, so you want to go over your plans?
I can go over mine, sure. Oh, thanks. Send me that picture. So I am not going to be a super challenger. This is Magazine Monthly. If you're new watching us, you can find this group on Facebook. It's run by Carolyn Zook and Robin Hall, and it's Magazine Monthly Challenge.
It's a
I-
fun group.
I am a rule breaker. I don't use magazines very much to stitch out of, so I just pick a theme.
Oh,
What?
I think a lot of people aren't right now.
I
I've
think
seen
so,
several.
but we all love the group anyways. I'm not even really good at posting pictures before and after, but I love to be in the group and I love seeing what people are stitching, and I love having this kind of plan to map out my stitching, because then I do pull out things that I wouldn't normally just grab to work on. So
Yeah,
every month there's the theme. So this month is Robin's birthday month, and the theme is trees for Robin's birthday month. So of course mine is cranberry and pines is the one. That's the stocking. And I'm gonna try to work 4 hours on that. Look at this cute washi tape.
That's cute.
These
It's cute.
little geometric.
I bought some. I don't know where I put it all on my washi tapes.
And then I'm gonna do the longer one, but not bird and birdhouse. I just knew I wasn't. I could have done that and then just done like an hour on each thing. But I decided to do more on.
There was a lady on the Zoom, because they do a Zoom call every month, that's doing both bird and birdhouse, different projects for all of them.
And how many hours on each?
I don't know, but she said I think it's 14 different letters. She had 14 whips she wanted to work on, and she got them all to fit. Or however many letters there are.
Wow, I have a really hard time being smart enough to make them fit. I have to get kind of creative. So I pulled out things that I knew I kind of wanted to work on. So for B, so the acrostic is birdhouse. For B, I'm going to work on my blue flower of alpaca farm, which I thought I brought over, but maybe oh, it fell down. Let me grab it. I don't always share pictures of what I'm doing, but I happen to have it all out.
It's kind of fun. I know. We should show. Yeah.
This drum, my alpaca farm drum, that's what the stitching looks like.
So
Can I
cute.
show how far I am now, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
People might want to see. Let's do it. We got time.
This is where I'm at.
Cute.
So I'm going to try to work 3 hours on each of those letters that I pulled out. And then for I want to work on the Stitching by the Sea. That one may not have, maybe I didn't pull everything.
Which one, honey?
I might have forgotten some of them over at the other table, but Stitching at the Sea is that long skinny pillow you gave me, and it uses a lot of island blue, the colorway Island Blue. I use that for I. And then for R, I'll work on my sunflower for Riolis.
Good.
And D, I will work on Turkey Day, which I love. Garden samplings. I really do love like everything they put out.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Oh, some scissors. And where am
I
I?
just found a needle.
You what?
I just found a needle in the bottom of a project bag. I thought, oh, I gotta get that out of there.
This is where I'm at so far. I got his legs done, and I think this is
Oh yeah, I don't think I've seen him since his legs got put on there.
yeah. And then I'm starting his kind of big back wing there. Looks like he has a back at the moment. So I want to get some progress done on him. And then for H, I will work on my Hade, which I'm doing Tiny Traveler, which is a painting by Annie Stagg. And I didn't bring that over, but I've shown that recently many times.
Yeah.
And then for O, I decided to do Carriage House, because there's an O in house, samplings, and I can choose either one of my Hot Brown Hollow. I just depending on whether I feel like working on shores or spring. For you, I'm gonna have a new start. Music amongst the trees. I have this all kitted up and I just haven't started it yet.
I can't believe I gave that to you.
You wanted
I have a different. I think because I have another
you
one.
had a different one you wanted to do instead. You had decided.
Yeah. And I thought I'm not going to do both.
Same. I mean, more trees. Same rosy manner. I'm gonna love it just as much. I don't think this one has beads.
I don't think her normal. I don't think her regular patterns have a lot of beads in them.
I'd be a relief when I'm done with these stockings.
A lot of beading.
For S, I'm gonna work on my Snapperland, which I'm just doing that. I don't have a full picture of this, but it's time for this to come out because I really love this. And I just need to do that border basically all around.
It'll be done.
Oh, cute.
Border's cute.
I love that border.
It is cute.
I'm using dungarees. I think it calls for something like gold paint, but I had a lot of dungarees left from my big
Joyful World.
Yes, Joyful World South calendar thing.
Which I've just busted this year on my border. I need to talk to you about that again when I see you in person, because I need to write down what it was you told me I needed to do, because I don't remember.
You need to take a picture with your phone of your, sorry, there is like a mosquito or a fly biting me down here on my leg. And it's right, yeah, it's a fly. It's a fly. You need to take a picture of the pattern and then rotate it on your phone. But you'll have to stitch it off your phone then. Either that or mirror image it and maybe print it somehow. You might have to mirror image it. I might have to just show you in person.
Yeah.
Or we can walk through it over FaceTime.
Maybe I didn't print the right. Yeah, we can talk about it later. Sorry,
I ended up stitching that border off of my phone.
Yeah, I can do that.
For E, I picked Snow Queen because there's 2 E's in it.
Yes.
She has not made an appearance for quite some time because I've just been working on other things.
Yeah, she's been neglected.
Oh my gosh, this fly is like biting me nonstop.
Really?
This is her body. This will be her shoulder.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I see her.
Yeah, this is her shoulder, arm. She's holding reins.
Beautiful.
Right here.
I really love it on
the
the
looks a lot darker to me, but I think it's because I said mine sure looks a lot darker, but I think it's just because it's on dark fabric.
I think that's it. I think it just makes it changes the tone.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. I like it darker.
Yeah, I need to get going on this one. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. So that's why it's on my magazine monthly. That's my plans for the Oh, and my Whitco that was called for this month is stockings and the sunflower. So those are both on my magazine.
Oh, okay. So you'll get 2 birds with 1 stone.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. There you
Okay.
go.
So my plan is the mini version. This is it.
Oh, interesting.
So my focal piece for trees is going to be, I don't want this to get wet, a piece that I actually started for Magazine Monthly, I believe, I bet it was last November, because it's in a Christmas magazine.
Okay.
It's from Just Cross Stitch, and it's Thankful Heart, and I just love these whimsical trees.
I like those too. They kind of make
They don't look anything like that without the back stitching. But this is how far I had gotten so far. So I don't,
cute.
I think I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I think I have 4 more trees, and 2 of them are tiny. And then the little birds and stuff. And it says, begin each day with a thankful heart. So I just loved it. I love the shading on it. So that'll come back out. This, and I'm doing 4 hours on that. And then for my bee, oh, you're going to be excited about this, Sarah.
For your bee.
My bee coming out
Bee. What will I
is
do?
my button up.
Oh, yay! You're so close.
I have just basically, oh, I got 2 needles in here. The white in this square and then this last square.
You're so close.
So close. I was so close all of last year too.
You
And
can have it done by January.
I might have it done by January. I might. You know, there's something about putting projects away for a long time and you bring them back out and you get kind of excited about them again.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
that's my B. And then my I is that flower fairy that I just showed. The Ukrainian one. And
Yeah.
I picked it because I stand with Ukraine. That's the
Oh.
hashtag that was being used for that.
Yes.
That was a reach for me. I is hard.
I was hard.
R,
Island blue. That's right.
R is my 4 Seasons Barbara Anna girl, because R for redhead. She's
Oh,
the
yeah.
redheaded one in the group.
Cute.
So that was, I really want to keep working on this. I'm always glad when I can work it into the, and I get going on this and I just work on it all night. I don't switch patterns out. That was R. And then D is going to be a new start. And this one is also meets the designer focus challenge that Garan Stitchery and Candy are doing.
Yeah.
And this is the pattern I bought on our road trip, but I bought it in Zionsville, Indiana, which I loved. I loved it there. And
It
it's
was just there this week. I think it was Heidi who joined
Yes.
our stitching.
And
I saw her
actually-
post pictures and she was at Persnickety.
yes, did she? Oh, I have to
Yeah,
go back
she
and look.
just shared pictures of that. Heidi, if you're watching, tell us if you had fun.
And this is not going to meet Bent Creek. I thought that Bent Creek is the focus designer. This is a heart and hand, and I thought it was.
Oh,
It's
Oh.
Dahlia Ridge.
so you need to do that.
Harvest on Dahlia Ridge. I love it. It comes with the buttons.
So cute.
And Zionsville is known for, which is where my son and daughter-in-law live, used to be known for dahlias. It's like there was a sign that said Zionsville. I don't think it said home of the dahlia, but it's something about dahlias. And so when I found it, I bought it because I loved it. And then I thought, oh, and then it also represents Zionsville, and that made me feel nostalgic.
Fun.
So I bought all the fancy flosses for it because there's so many blocks of shading and everything's ready to go. So I'm kind of excited about this.
Oh, fun.
I'm going to start it on a 28 count, just natural linen.
Right.
So that's my D. And then my Whipco piece. That one. My Whipco piece it's the same piece for both squares because I did just a few projects like Sarah did, but over multiple. And it is my Nora Corbett Mirabilia Christmas Fairy. Yeah, Christmas elf.
Cute.
And I'm not very far on her. She just has her hair. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is her little hat. I'm sorry. Her
Yes.
little hat and her
Her
hair.
head and her hair.
Yeah, so she will get 8 hours this month.
Oh, wow.
Well, that I should have some good progress on her. And if I meet both those blocks, I will have 2 WIPCOs, which means I get to order 2 project bags.
Yeah, fun.
I know. And then the last piece that I need to work on is my calendar August square. It's right up your alley. It's not going to be easy to see, but it's a crab.
Oh, crap.
And a boat.
Cute.
And
That is cute. I like that.
oh, little fish. Those are little fish down there on the bottom. Anyway, so that'll get love because my goal is to finish each block each month. So I'm on par. I'm on par for it. What I was going to show, somebody was saying, I think it was last week maybe on when we zoomed about the smalls, somebody said that they had not jumped on this bandwagon of these clippies.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was.
Yeah,
used
anyways,
those
this
before.
is how they came when I ordered them on Amazon. You get a whole bunch of them. And they're just called Smart and Cool Magnetic Silicone Ties. But I do like them because I fold, so when I hold my hoop, I fold
Yeah.
I keep
That'd be
grabbing
nice.
my fabric. I'm able just to kind of
Plop
bunch it and then just, yeah, it actually works out really nice. The only problem is they're super strong and I have a magnetic board with my patterns on it with magnets. And if I go to hold my pattern up and I have my piece, it just bonk right onto them. I had to peel it off. So I'm getting better about remembering not to let that touch the board when
That's funny.
I get it all set up just perfect and then the magnet comes loose. So anyway, that is my plan. And I'm bummed about the Bent Creek. I probably have a Bent Creek somewhere.
You probably have one already started somewhere.
I probably do.
You should go through your crafting closet and find your lost
I
project.
sent you the picture, by the way. My craft closet. And also got a really good tip from Carolyn and she got the tip from Jan Hicks, because with all the Jan Hicks's moving, and Jan Hicks was and still is quite, I think she knits quite a bit still, but mostly cross stitches, but she has a lot of yarn, I think. And so she's had to pack it up and move all over the country for the last couple of years. And in my craft closet, one whole wall is yarn, and it's not cheap yarn. It's like indie dyed yarn that, you know, I probably paid $28 to $30 something a skein. I'm not getting rid of it. I will knit with it, and some of it will be inherited by somebody, but it takes up a lot of room, and I'm not knitting as much, and the stuff that I want to knit right now I'm using different yarns for anyway. But she said get those vacuum seal bags, the heavy duty ones, and you just put your yarn in there, suck out the air, and it really compacts them down, and then you can put them in crates.
Right.
What I really want to do is put my yarn, the bulk of my yarn, and just get packed up anyway. We're moving probably in the next year, so I need to start packing what I can pack now that I don't need. So I'm going to do that, and then clear off some of the shelving unit in there to put some of my cross stitched in, because my cross stitch stuff is all in baskets and in a crate on the floor in this closet. And to get to the patterns, I have to take all the baskets off the top of it. I mean, it's a production, and
yeah,
every new month I have to go through my whips to find out what I want to work on, and then pull that. Oh, it's just kind of a pain. So I'm going to get some of those vacuum bags, and I'm going to start putting some of that yarn away.
Yeah.
Keep some of it out that I might want.
Yeah.
And it won't be gone. It won't be in a storage unit. It'll just be in my closet. So if I really needed it, I could go in there and open up a bag. But that's the hard thing about trying to pack early, is that you have to find things that you know you're not going to really want.
Yeah. Right.
So,
or just know you're going to have to go without, even if you really want.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Do you have any haul? Because I don't have any haul.
No, the only haul I really had was I bought the flosses for a stitch for Sweet Freedom. I bought some Anchor Black. So I think I talked about the freebie that she did it during 2020. It was a freebie by, I can't find. She stitched, not stitched.
It's like a book club knitting.
Yes. It was in Gail's Golden Needle game.
Stitching book club or something like that.
Huh?
Stitching book club or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. She did a Blackbird singing at the
Yes.
breakup day or whatever it is.
Dead of night.
Dead of night. You know that song that I love.
Oh, that one that you love so much.
Yeah, I know by heart. She offered that as a freebie during Be Well and Stitch during 2020. It's on her Instagram grid. You have to go back to June of 2020 to find it. It's also on her blog. Anyway, Gail had done it on a beautiful Gothic piece of Ada and all in black. And I loved it. The minute I saw it, I loved it. So I bought Anchor Black at my needlework store to use on the fabric. What did I get? Oh, I bought fabric and floss for, it's just fabric and floss, but remember I showed you the Teresa Koga Biscornu? It's like the moths. Okay, I bought the fancy flosses and DMCs for that, but you won't believe what else I did.
What?
I bought 40 count.
What are you gonna do? Use it?
I'm gonna try.
Oh,
My
that,
magnifier.
that reminds me that we were oohing and awing about Linda Bazarski last week. And
Yeah.
we asked her to let us know what size it is. And she says, well, it ends up being the same size as doing it 28 count over one. That's still tiny. Like when we use 28 count, we're talking about over two. So it's like double the size. So it's tiny. So Linda,
Yeah. So anyway, she
I
inspired
think
me.
you're amazing.
I think with my magnifier, I might be able to do 40 count.
Okay, you can. Oh yeah.
And I think I checked sizes, when I did the stitch calculator, and it's a pretty good size Biscornu, even on the 40 count. I don't want a really big one.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm going to try the 40 count. I also bought I think a 32 count as a backup. In case the 40 count isn't working for me.
Just in case. You have such confidence.
I have such confidence in myself. Anyway, and then I bought our giveaway for today.
Yes. Well, we can do that now.
That's all. I think that's all. I have a stack of stuff to bring you when I see you next.
Me?
Well, I was going to give you my Stitch Quarterly, the little lemonade.
Oh, that's right. You said you were going to.
And I have a picture frame that came in my cotton and twine, just a brown picture frame, but it's kind of a pale brown. I don't really like it that much, but you might want it or the girls might want it. It's very nice. What's that? Oh, I was going to give you my Halloween magazine because I don't think I'll stitch anything out of it. And you and the girls might find something in there. So I got a little stash going for you.
Okay.
This is the giveaway, and I think our word is
Let's
going to
do last week's giveaway first.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. We were giving away these cute Winnie the Poohs, and we have one entry anyway. So it's Christine. Martinez Christine. Congratulations.
You won.
These three things. I think we have your address.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure we have your address, so I will try to get those out to you soon.
And I have not mailed mine out, but my goal is to do those tomorrow. Get caught up. So if you're waiting on any from me, I'm just
I
taking it.
will try to get those in the mail. And then this week we have.
I loved this so much when I bought it for myself that I went ahead and bought. I'm going to take it out of the packaging. But I went ahead and bought it for a giveaway because it's so cute. And I don't think it's a very big stitch. And it is in a tart pan. So I think the word we should use is tart. And it's adorable with a cherry on top. Isn't that so cute?
So cute.
Ladybugs. I think it's the combination of the ladybugs and the cherries. It calls for Weeks Louisiana hot spot. Only 4 colors: Louisiana hot sauce, Weeks, Cayenne, DMC, and DMC 3364 and DMC 310. Now, I'm not a fan of that color green. Green is one of those colors that I'm really particular about for certain things. And it was interesting because when I went to purchase it, Denise from the store owner said she was thinking of starting this last night. She had it all ready to go, but she wasn't going to do that green because she didn't think that green was green enough. So, but otherwise, I think it's adorable.
Yeah, it just depends on whether you want that sort of muted green or whether you want it to.
And I'm pretty sure I have this exact tart thing. I bought it randomly just to put on my coffee table in a display, but it looks exactly like it, and I got it at Hobby Lobby. Yeah. In fact, I wonder if she says. No, she doesn't say anything about it. Anyway, so this is from Ezra. Izia Gladstone, New York Dreamer Needleworks. That's really cute. So use the word tart if you are interested in stitching this adorable little piece.
Okay. Now you didn't talk about your other plans that impact something that I'm gonna upload.
Oh, sure. So I didn't bring it in, but people have seen me talk about it. So if you know and have laughed along with me, you know that I was never going to stitch a Haid, and now I'm going to stitch a Haid. And we're starting in like 12 days on August 14th, which is World Cross Stitch Day.
That's 14 days because tomorrow's the 1st.
I know, but when I counted, I guess you're right. 14 days. Sorry, I counted wrong the other day.
August 1st to August 15th.
Sorry, shut up. We're starting. It's Tina Goodell from Tina Stitches and Carolyn Zook from C Zook Stitch. We're going to do it. And then I saw it and I thought, I have to do this piece. I just have to do this piece. It's the only Haid I've really ever just become obsessed with. I stalk the hashtag on Instagram every night to see what people are stitching on it. But anyway, we are starting it, and there's people that are joining us that have already started it. And we're doing the max color version because it's 237 colors or something like that. But there's a less color version, so it's not quite as shaded. And there's also it's called a stitching shelf. So it's a band on a bookshelf. There's book spines behind you, and then there's little vignettes in front of the book spines of women. Women cross stitching. The top band it's seasonal. So guess why I love it so much? It's spring and then summer and then fall and then winter, and they're all very distinct color palettes. And so we got together the three of. And so anyway, you can buy just part of that pattern. You can buy minis that are just one part of the shelf. And so I think Lynette Peters is joining us. She's a follower of She's Looks Stitch and part of the magazine monthly group. She posted a mini that she's going to do. It's still a lot of stitching. It's still a full coverage, but it's smaller. And so we got together and kind of met about it, Tina and Carolyn and I, and we actually recorded the little meeting because we talked about how we're each going about it, because we're each doing our floss management differently. We're each doing different fabric. And so anyway, it's not a very long video, and Carolyn recorded it and she sent it to us, and Sarah's going to try to upload it to our channel in case you want to watch it. If we don't get ours up, I think Tina also has it up, Tina Stitches. And it was really encouraging when we talked, because Tina's like a little statistician, and she said, you know, guys, if we stitched 1,400 stitches every 2 weeks, we could have this done in 10 years. That would be 700 a week or 100 a day.
100 a day.
Only stitching on that. And 100 stitches on that is not going to be as fast as 100 stitches because it's so confetti heavy. It is ridiculous. So anyway, I felt so invigorated by those statistics. I was going to look something up about it, but I can't remember what I was going to look up. Oh, but we have a Facebook group that's starting for that group, and it is called, I should know because I'm one of the, it's just called A Stitching Shelf SAL. So it's for people that are stitching this or people that just want to watch us try to stitch it.
So I can join even though
yeah,
probably because I will eventually be stitching it. Can I join?
Yeah, and you might end up not wanting to wait for me to die. You might end up wanting to start it sooner.
You might just quit. You might be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I might become a monogamous stitcher.
You might on your stitches. I doubt it too, but you could.
But anyway,
or
so
when I come over to visit, I'll just put some stitches in for you.
Yeah. So it's a Stitching Shelf SAL, and I'm looking here. We have 27 members already.
Oh wow!
And I don't think everybody's stitching. I think some just, there's two questions. Are you planning to stitch it, or are you just here for looking at pretty things? So yes, you can join me.
Okay, good. I haven't joined it, but I will.
Yeah. So anyway, Sarah's going to work her techie magic and see if she can get this video uploaded.
I think I should be able to.
It got sent to me in a Google Doc, and I don't really have a Google email that I use. So I mean, I probably do link to my phone, but I don't use it. And I couldn't even tell you what the password probably is to log on to it. So Sarah's gonna, I think there might be one little editing thing you might have to do though, Sarah. At the
Okay.
very beginning, Carolyn messes up her name.
Like she doesn't say her name right? Carolyn.
I think she just says, this is Carolyn from Season Stitch, which I don't think that's such a bad thing to say.
No.
I don't remember what she said now. Anyway,
I'll
load it up the way. Just load it up the way it is. Carolyn won't care. Will you, Carolyn?
I can edit it. Let's see. What else? Anything else? Oh, reading.
I finished my book.
Yay. Were they darling at the end?
They were, it took a really unexpected turn at the end.
Like dark?
Kind of dark.
Ooh.
Yeah, but dark, but the ending happened really fast too. Yeah, it was fine. It ended I'll try to get the words out. I wouldn't have wanted to end any other way. I wanted there to be some justice for these women. And so I finished that. It was, in case you're wondering, it's the Daring Girls of Guernsey. And it's not based on it's based on a true event, but not these people. It's all fictional. But I started that other book that I was talking about last week, and it is called, hold on a second. It's called, what is going on with my phone? It's called Last Summer on State Street. And I talked about thinking it, the description made me think of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, but it's a little more it's not a little more real. It's more present day with violence. And so like the opening scene is these girls are like 12 years old and they live in these tenements that are being torn down. I believe it's New York, could be Chicago, but I think it's New York. And they so it's their last summer there, and then their building's probably going to get torn down, but they've watched a bunch of them come down and their whole neighborhood is changing. And so it early on, like I'm not that even far into it, but early on they decide, even though they're not supposed to, they run out of this, they have a certain parameter where they can play in, I think it's like a porch area on this, not really sure, but the one girl gets kind of brave and decides to go off with the other girl to go to the ice cream truck to get some candy. She must have candy and ice cream. And she talks about how when they got off the porch, she thought she should have been more wary because it was very quiet. There wasn't everybody was just kind of quiet on the street, which is a bad sign. And she saw a group of men, boys off the street, and she chose to ignore it because she wanted the candy. And so her and her friend go get their candy, and the little friend's brother is standing by them, and he goes, get back, we're at war. And they start running back to the tenement building, and gunshots start. It's a gang fire. Yeah. And so they run upstairs, they get in. It must be like an open stairwell of some kind, because they're running, and some of the boys from the street are running with them and literally picking them up and throwing them out of the air, out of the gunfire. So they get up to her mom's, the one girl's apartment. Her mom grabs them in. They're sitting in the hallway in their apartment, waiting for the gunfire to stop. And then she says, okay, you can go in your bedroom now to play, but stay down on the ground. So it's definitely got a more modern, it's a modern coming. I don't even know how modern it is. I don't know when these tenements, I should look that up again, but you know, more recent than 1940s. So that was a little, it started with a bang.
Yeah.
But it's also a lot about the friendships and how these girls and their different backgrounds and how it affects their lives. Like she befriends one of the girls, a new girl in the tenement building, and she's kind of dirty. You know, she's not clean. She kind of smells. Her family got relocated to that building because theirs was torn down. She doesn't have any friends. She just kind of wanders up and down the stairs all day. And she invites her to come jump rope with her and the other two girls that she's friends with. And one of them doesn't like it. She doesn't want another girl in their group. So there's kind of that dynamic going on. So I'm going to stick with it, but it was a little more than I thought. But I did also download a freebie. It's a short story called A Feather on the Water. And it was a July Prime book, and it's just short. Oh no, that's not the one I was looking for. Hold on just a second. I downloaded two. Where did the other one go? Signal Moon is by Kate Quinn. Signal Moon. It's a short one, and it is about a girl in Britain during the war, and she is her job is to intercept radio communications during the war, and she transmits them to Bletchley Square, which is where the big England's okay. And one night she gets this transmission, and something isn't adding up with it, and it's an American on a ship, and he's calling for help because they're under fire. And she realizes this is what was the script. I'm not giving it away, but anything away that you wouldn't already know. He's from 2023. She's in 1940. He's in 2023, and she's trying to help him on a ship in 2023 that's under attack. So there's some kind of war happening.
What's that movie? Frequency. Do you remember that movie, Frequency?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it had really good reviews, and it's just a short story. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get that. See how that. I like those kind of stories too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So that
love time. You love stories that transcend time.
I loved Time Traveler's Wife. Did you ever read that?
I have not read it. I am not a big time travel person. Like 11/22/63 was okay because there was like.
I think you would like Time Traveler Wife.
Wasn't it really sad? Is that the one that's really sad?
I'm sure the ending is kind of sad, but it was a good book. The movie, I wouldn't watch the movie. They changed the movie a lot, I think. I remember watching it years ago, but I did like that book. And maybe I have fond feelings about it because it was one of the first ones I read that was time travel. But didn't you like that other one, Big Galvadon?
I read a couple of them. They were a little more racy than I tend to. Like, they were quite sexual.
Yeah, they were pretty risque. I don't think Time Traveler's Wife was risque. I don't remember, or it wasn't like those.
Give it a try. I know it was really acclaimed and that a lot of people loved it.
I think
it's not. I don't know why. That's probably not really why I didn't read it. Although, yeah,
I don't like all books like that. But
yeah, I probably would like it. I think I didn't want to read it because I heard it was really sad. But maybe.
Well, I mean, how's a book going to end when you're in two different? But I just feel like it was beautifully written, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I read it so long ago. Maybe if I read it now, I wouldn't like it at all. I have just a fond memory of it. But anyway, so that's what I'm gonna maybe intersperse that with the other one because that
some light reading.
And the other book that I got from July, because I had to quick use my July Prime. Do you get those books on your Kindle?
I don't think so. I don't know.
You should get them. Every month, Amazon Prime members get a pick of a free book, like a early release kind of thing, and they're free. So I get a lot of my books that way recently, but also in July you get two. So I took the Signal Moon, and then I got another one called Feather on the Water. And that one, I'm just getting these because I'll read them eventually maybe, but they're free, so why not? And this one is about 3 women after post-war. And I think they might be in Germany, but they go somewhere to refugee. They're helping with the refugee situation, which is something that people don't write a lot about the whole human displacement after that war. And they each have some kind of pain in their life some people said they felt like the book was written a little bit too lightly for such a big issue, but other people loved it. So I thought, okay, it's free. I'll give it a try. But they are working with the relief organizations and how that impacts their life. And I think not redemption, but maybe just some closure in their life in the process of doing this. So that might appeal to some people. I don't know, but a little different post-war story that I haven't really ever read much about. I know there was a lot of people displaced that had to get moved around.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
And looking for relatives and survivors. And I can't even, can you imagine when you think about that, the scope of that war and all the people that were shipped all over that continent and killed?
Yeah.
Without computers, trying to find family and friends.
Yeah. I mean, now it'd be different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to find my library.
Well, you read it.
Well, I am reading. This is what I'm trying to find. I'm reading Misery still by Stephen King.
Are you still liking it?
Yeah. I'm maybe a third of the way through.
Oh, we got a ways to go.
I've got a long ways to go. I keep thinking, like, what else can they do? This man is just trapped here. How much story can you tell? But
A lot.
there's always more.
There's more.
But wait, there's more. That's the main thing I read this week. I had put on hold a while ago. Do you remember when I was reading The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill, and there was a few others. Well, that same author has a book for adults. I'm trying to get to it. I think it's not a children's book. It's called When Women Were Dragons, I think. So sorry, I'm trying to get it so I can see the description of it. I just want to see the description of it. It's making me log in and all this stuff.
Oh, while you're doing that, there's no girls around, right?
No.
So, every year for Christmas, I try to buy them each a book. And then I always want to find them special books. Oftentimes I try to find English authors that aren't necessarily published here. So it always is going to take longer to get the books to me. So I did order a Enid Blyton book for Rosie, and it's Christmas stories. I don't think you probably have that one.
Probably not.
That looks really cute. But I thought I'm going to start ordering the stuff now so that I have, because then I'm always scrambling to find a replacement if I can't get what I really want to get them.
No. Yeah, it's a smart idea. Here's the description of this book. It's called Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. And I think I might only get it for 2 weeks, which is stupid. It's an ebook. Maybe it's longer than that, but it looked like I was only going to get it for 2. Alex Green is a young girl in a world much like ours, but this version of 1950s America is characterized by a significant event, the mass dragoning of 1955, when hundreds of thousands of ordinary wives and mothers sprouted wings, scales, and talons, left a trail of fiery destruction in their path, and took to the skies. Seemingly for good. Was it their choice? What will become of those left behind? Why did Alex's beloved Aunt Marla transform, but her mother did not? Alex doesn't know. It's taboo to speak of, even more so than her crush on Sonia, her schoolmate. So there's a little sexual themes there. Forced into silence, Alex nevertheless must face the consequences of dragons. A mother more protective than ever, a father growing increasingly distant, the upsetting insistence that her aunt never even existed, and a new, quote, sister, obsessed with dragons far beyond propriety. Through loss, rage, and self-discovery, this story follows Alex's journey as she deals with the events leading up to and beyond the mass dragoning and her connection with the phenomenon itself. And I might not have been super, I think it's kind of a compelling sounding storyline, but also this author her books that she writes for younger audiences are so good that
So you're going to give her a try?
I would give it a shot. And maybe it is not, maybe it is still geared towards young adults because it is about a child. But I'm not sure.
It reminded me of a book. Hold on. I was listening to.
Yeah, it's an adult novel. Sorry, I was trying to find it.
I was listening to Modern Mrs. Darcy and Vogel, and it was one of her back episodes, not that far back, and she was highlighting the book. I should have found it. This reminded me of it. Just kind of this weird phenomenon, right? Of these women. It's a book that's set, I think it's set maybe more modern day, but it's a take on a event that supposedly happened in the 1700s or 1500s, where these women were basically dancing themselves to death. Like they just started dancing.
Which is a real thing. You've heard of this, right?
Well, I hadn't
That's
yet.
a real phenomenon.
Yeah, I had never
Like
heard
that
of it.
mass hysteria or whatever they call it. I can't remember the phenomenon. Yes.
Yeah, and I think the book that she was referencing to was about taking that phenomenon maybe
As if that continued.
Yeah, and maybe women finding, women that were oppressed, because women were basically oppressed. They were nothing back then, right? Oh, I'll have to try to find the book and talk about it next week, because I had never heard of that phenomenon.
That sounds interesting. Yes, it's so bizarre. I can't remember the name of that incident, but you could just Google it, like mass hysteria dancing, and you'd probably pull up information.
I know. And part of the story on this storyline is so it is taking place back then. The story is taking place back then. And there's the main protagonist is just newly married. And I think they're living with her in-laws, and there's a sister-in-law that has just come home from, I believe, a convent or some kind of an exile, but nobody will talk about why she was exiled. It's taboo. And the reason she was exiled was because she had a same-sex partner relationship, and that was very taboo back then. And so
Interesting.
The story goes on from there, but I just thought, what?
Bizarre.
Yeah. But I think the take on it is that these women were trying to fight the oppression that they felt as women in that society, kind of thing.
Which is probably not even what was actually happening, but there's other cases of really bizarre things. Yeah. I don't know.
They just needed some hormones. They needed some hormones.
But there's other cases where it's not just women. Sociogenic illness is another name for it. Stop, Rosemary. Dancing plagues of the Middle Ages are thought to have been caused by mass hysteria. In history, here, let me find out a few others. Let's see, there were the dancing manias. There were let's see. There were like cases of nuns being like very, very crude in their nunneries. And those were like attributed to demonic action, but it was more like mass hysteria.
Really? Okay.
Factories. Yeah. There's some really bizarre ones. And I feel like not that long ago, there were some. Okay. Yeah. Like in 1974 in the Midwest, 10 of 39 workers smelled an unconfirmed mystery gas in a data center at a university town. And they were rushed to the hospital, but there was nothing there. Those affected were found to have high levels of job dissatisfaction. And those with strong social ties tended to have similar reactions to the supposed gas, which only one unaffected woman reported smelling. I mean, just bizarre stuff.
Really?
Stuff in schools. Anyways,
Right.
Yeah. Laughing is another one. Tanganyika, I don't know if I'm saying that right, in Africa, there was a school where they couldn't get anybody to stop laughing.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, you have a rabbit trail to go down now.
Don't you think that is like, well, like in the case that I'm talking about, don't you think that would be like, could be attributed to unhappiness in their life as women though?
Well, yes. I mean, I think you can make that case. It wasn't like a social planned stand, but it would be like the result of some kind of, unhappiness.
Okay.
This is the other one I heard of. In 1965 or 1962, there was an outbreak of laughing attacks in or near the village of Kinshasa on the western coast of Lake Victoria in Tanzania, eventually affecting 14 different schools and over 1,000 people. That's the Tanganyika laughter epidemic. Mass psychogenic illness. They do think it's stress induced, but it's really crazy.
Okay, I thought I found, hold on a second. I thought I found the post. Oh, yes. Okay, I found it. The name of this particular book is called The Dance Tree. An intriguing, haunting novel, pulsing with raw, beautiful emotion, intertwines the stories of women tenderly and sympathetically, creating a novel in which female courage and resilience shines brightly against a brilliantly evoked backdrop of claustrophobic horror. Wait a minute.
Did Anne Vogel recommend it?
Yes, I think so. Okay, so it's Strasbourg, 1518. In the midst of a blisteringly hot summer, a lone woman begins to dance in the city square. She dances for days without pause or rest. And when hundreds of other women join her, the men running the city declare a state of emergency and hire musicians to play the devil out of the mob. Outside the city, pregnant Lisbeth lives with her husband and mother-in-law, tending the bees that are the family's livelihood. Though Elizabeth is removed from the frenzy of the dancing plague, afflicting the city's women, her own quiet life is upended by the arrival of her sister-in-law, Nephi, has been away for 7 years, serving a penance in the mountains for a crime no one will name. It is a secret Lisbeth is determined to uncover. As the city buckles under the beat of 1,000 feet, Lisbeth becomes caught in a dangerous web of deceit and clandestine passion. Like the women of Strasbourg, she too is dancing to a dangerous tune. Set in an era of superstition, hysteria, and extraordinary change, and inspired by true events. The Dance Tree is an impassioned story of family secrets, forbidden love, and women pushed to the edge. Oh, I might get that.
Super interesting.
I know. Sounds like something totally not in my wheelhouse, but
Some people think there could have been food poisoning involved in some of these, or stress induced. Yeah. So like mushrooms that they ate there. But like the dancing in 1518, that dancing epidemic went on for weeks. That's not something
Yeah. No.
bizarre.
Okay.
Humans
Well,
do. Well, anyway.
have you started watching anything on BritBox yet? If you're new here,
yeah.
I got a BritBox subscription that Sarah gets to use.
Did I tell you about Jesse, what was that BritBox show we watched called? What was that BritBox show we watched? Bancroft. I just can't ever remember the
I think
name.
I've seen that. I've seen
We
it.
watched, I think, all that are out. There's 2 seasons out. It was good. It's not what we expected when we clicked through to it.
Oh,
We thought it was just going to be a straightforward police type procedural.
No, it's not.
I mean, it is, but it's not. The people that were going to be the good guys are not really who it's like. Bancroft is the name of it, and she's the main character. She is not a good guy, which we didn't know. Like, that's not what we expected. We thought it was just going to be like any other police procedural, and it was good. So we watched all of that. We watched The Gray Man, which wasn't on BritBox, but that was on Netflix. That's a movie with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, which is crazy because Chris Evans, you know, is Captain America, and he plays a psychotic villain in that movie.
Which one is that one?
The Gray Man. It's like a new Netflix movie. It's very much just an action flick, so don't watch it thinking you're going to get some great complex plot. But it was enjoyable, and I mean, Ryan Gosling. Can you go wrong?
Our
fighting people for an hour and a half.
Our fallback right now on BritBox has been Death in Paradise.
Oh, I watched some of that years ago.
Love that one. And that one is about a British detective that gets sent off to the.
Did Julian Fellows do that one too?
No, maybe. He's sent to, like, I don't know. Is it Jamaica? It's in the islands. It's one of the islands that the British have some kind of procedural control over, and he's sent there to something happens to the chief detective on this island. It's just a little little island with a little town, and he is so stuffy and so British, and comes down there, and it's blisteringly hot and humid. He refuses to not wear his 3-piece suit.
This is not the show I thought you were thinking of. I think The Paradise. I have not watched Death in Paradise.
This one is just, and so he's so out of his element, and these islander people are just kind of like go with the flow, and so he shows up to solve this crime, and then he finds out that he is not liked that much because he's so intense in Britain, and so they've arranged to keep him there, and so he doesn't get to come home. And but as you watch it, he changes. Like, his guard comes down. I don't know how many episodes we're in season 2 yet, but the relationship between him and his crew, because he's got a couple of, there's a female, I don't remember what her title is, but she's kind of not quite as equal, but she takes the lead a lot with him. And then there's a couple of guys that are, they're Islander policemen, but they're not like portrayed as dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes those shows, they're very smart. Yeah. And they're very useful and very helpful. And one of them is a young guy and he's married and his wife just had a baby. And the other guy is a little bit older and he's had a lot of relationships with women on the island. So he knows a lot of people, but their relationship as a team, has developed, and their respect for each other.
That's nice.
And the female detective, she grew up on the island, but she came from she speaks like fluent French, but maybe that would be that's not the main, no, I think that is maybe the main dialect on this island. Anyway, she and his relationship has gotten a lot more tender, and I don't know, it's a fun, it's tight, it's a nice little tidy, they solve them, it's always some weirdo, like weird case, it's never the person you think it's going to be that did the murder, so that's kind of been a fun one to watch.
That is fun.
Yeah, I'm just trying to explore around. I'll have to look into Bancroft. That sounds kind of.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. It was kind of gripping. We just started watching one that came out in 2020. It's a TV show. It's not on BritBox either. I think it's on Netflix, called The Stranger. I have no idea where it's going. I can't tell if it's going to be like a crime drama or a psychological thriller or a supernatural thing. I can't tell. There's all these different threads kind of in this community. It makes me think a little bit of Broadchurch, where there's this thing that happens and it's kind of unexplained, and it's not the death of a child, at least, but like
I forgot about Broadchurch. Oh, that was intense and dark.
That was really intense.
Yeah.
But like there's some just things that I can't see how they're going to connect. We only watched an episode of it so far, so I'll let you know if it's any good. But anyway, this is getting really long. We should probably.
I know, we need to go. I need to make
just
spots.
Chatting it up.
We haven't talked for a couple days. Can you tell?
I know.
It's our long episodes.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, let us know what you're reading. Summer reading.
Yeah.
Anything good?
Yeah. Let us know if it's good. We have a GoodReads account. I try to add things that people recommend. So if you have a book recommendation of something you're reading or read recently, let me know and we can put it on there. People
and send us any pictures of anything you're working on or finished to our Gmail, because we love to feature our friends.
Yeah.
Definitely need to
comment with the word tart if you want the tart pan pattern.
And if you're interested in joining the Paid Stitch Along, you still have time to get your pattern.
And if you want to join the Shepherd's Bush Start Along and maybe win a prize.
Dangle the carrot. So we got some stuff happening, and we will get a Zoom meeting set by next week. We'll announce that for people that want to Zoom and stitch. I'm getting better at that, stitching at my desk here with my little lamp. Yeah, it's kind of nice.
I'm too social. I have a hard time stitching and hosting a Zoom, but I do like it.
And I wasn't leading any of the one yesterday, so I could be kind of quiet. It was easier, but
anyway, well, thanks for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, we're glad you're here, and
stay cool, be kind, take care of each other.
Great.
What else? Yeah. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. The word is tart.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
See you next week.